Again, a very pleasant good afternoon, every one of you. I thank you all for taking this time out of your busy schedule to be here um, into this meeting. And now call this meeting to order. I will ask Rotarian Burrows, if you may, such short notice, do the invocation for us, please.
Good night to all. Just give me a moment. I'm just getting settled in at home
Good night, no problem.
and just jump right on here. So you need me to say the grace?
Yes, ma'am. Invocation, Rotary Grace.
Okay.
Rotary Grace.
Gracious God, as we gather together as Rotarians and friends, we acknowledge that wherever we go, we are always in your presence. We pray that our actions may reflect this awareness. And as we seek your nearness and as we count our many blessings in this week and in this month ahead, clothe our lives with charity, deepen our lives with loyalty, follow our lives with integrity. Help us to live our lives so that we may enhance the future of those whose lives we touch. May a radiant spirit guide us and our loved ones all of our days. Amen.
Amen, amen. Thank you. Thank you, Rotarian Melissa.
Welcome.
That was awesome. Uh, Rotarians and guests, I would like to do a toast. Raise your glasses with me at this time. A loyal toast to the Queen and to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Queen
Queen
and to
and
the
Commonwealth
Commonwealth of
of
the Bahamas. So let me again officially welcome each and every one of you. I see we have Darren Ben is on. Darren, you would like to say a few words. Are you a fellow Rotarian or one that is seeking to be?
Hi, a pleasant good afternoon to all. It's certainly a pleasure of mine to be here. Yes, I am a Rotarian, Rotary Club of Nassau, by the way. And so it's
Yes,
good to be
awesome.
here with all of you and to say Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
Likewise.
glad that we have a fellow Rotarian with us. Well, we are members of the Rotary Club of Nassau also, even though we are a satellite club here
Indeed.
in Kid
Indeed.
Island. So indeed, feel welcome, brother. As
Thank
we have a awesome meeting because we have a dynamic speaker um who's well ready to give us some valuable information this afternoon. We do have uh our future president of the Rotary who joined in on us, Rotarian Chantel, will give space for at this time to say a few words to us, especially as we bring in this new year and this month being a big celebration anniversary to us, RCN. Karen
Good
Chantel,
evening. Good evening to you all. It is
good
nice to be able
afternoon.
to join you
Good
today. I
evening.
normally have a class on Thursdays, but as it's the beginning of the new year, we get a break this month. So I'm happy to be joining you this evening. As you said, this is our 60th anniversary month. The official day is January 19th. And to start it off, we will be participating in Marathon Bahamas. I see you have what, 3 of the team members on tonight? All ready to go?
Oh yes, fired up
I see
and
some
ready to
smiles.
go.
Winners, winners.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're all getting going. Hey, Darren might be participating too, but I think he joining another team on that day. But that's okay, Darren. We can still be thinking about
Yeah,
you as a
yeah.
Rotarian while we running, okay?
You can settle for second place. Ain't no thing.
But yeah, but it
Uh,
is good to see you all and be able to join you tonight. I'm looking forward to hearing the speaker.
Awesome, awesome. It's always a pleasure to have you within our midst. You know, a few updates. I would like to send condolences to our public relation officer, Gina Penn, who's on. One of our um loved one has passed. To have our at this time. Also, our secretary, um, she sends apologies. She is unable to come on to the meeting tonight. She had to travel to Nassau to bury a loved one within her family. So let's keep her in prayers. Be strengthened and give her encouraging words time. Um, feel free to reach out to her. But she do send her apologies of not being able to make it into this meeting this afternoon. Um, like Chantel said, we 60th anniversary. It is big, so let's get up towards a lot of exciting that's going to happen. Um, within Rotary, RCN. We're gonna start. She said, "We're gonna start off with the fun run walk." There's also a raffle that is planned. Um, the information and date will be posted, and all of the other funds excited. We'll post them into the various group. At this time, I want to say that we are back on track as it relates to our cleanup project at Spitz Bay Dock. Um, Dates will be announced when we'll be assembling back there to complete that project. We're in the process as it relates to getting the sign um, that we will erect on that site. Also, we're in the process of getting that banner. Wherever we as Rotarians in Kerala projects that we're doing and accomplishing, we can carry our banner and be able to take our photos and what's not. We have been doing a good job, hardworking team as relates to getting the information out there and making it into the district newsletter. I see we made it again. I think this week or last week we made it into the district newsletter again. So that was awesome. So let's continue on that vein and the good works. Um, um, with Taryn McLeana, she's doing some awesome stuff as relate to compiling information, and soon directly we'll be having our newspaper um, here in Kid Island. So that is going to be the first history. Um, any organization or anything within Kid Island, getting a newspaper, printed and what's not. So I'm excited. I'm in 600% in support of her and her team in making sure that is accomplished. Also, we're gonna try to complete the paint project. We still have paint on the island on hand now to at least complete one or two more homes. So dates, stay tuned for dates so we can get those completed. All right. So that is about all of the updates for now. With our secretary being absent, there will be no secretary report and treasurer report for this afternoon. Um, so hopefully next meeting those will be brought forward. At this time, uh, I would like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Humphrey Band. He is employed with the Royal Bahamas Police Force for 20 plus years. He is now Sergeant 808 Band. He is presently attached to the Kid Island Division. Uh, he is a South Andres. I didn't know that, he's a South Andres boy, so I see why fits right into this family island, environment, because he's a family island guy himself. He graduated of San Salvador Central Secondary School. Uh, he accredited resident and prevention program facilitator. Also, Woman Initiative of Nonviolence and Development. Former school liaison officer in the Southwestern School District. Secretary consultant, former Urban Renewal 2.0 staff member, community policing practitioner, the Stomp Out Violence facilitator. I love that group. They're doing a lot of good stuff. The Stomp Out Violence facilitator. Um, Adult and youth facilitator. They read Global Initiative lead facilitator. And core character values. Initial Caribbean Correction Officer course. Former court liaison officer. Initial school police program participant, crime watch group coordinator in the Southwest Division, and recipient of 2 police medals. Long service and good conduct, amongst a lot of uh, credentials. But be that as it may, I introduce you, um, Sergeant 808 Humphrey Bain.
Good afternoon, and Rotarians, and indeed, thank you for the welcome, Brother Gilbert.
Pleasure.
There's so much more that could have been said, but we're pressed for time. I'm sure you would not want a long, drawn-out intro. Once again, I want to say thank you for the invitation on behalf of Superintendent Tarico Sweeting and all of the members, officers, and reserve and civilian staff here in the Cat Island Division. For allowing us this opportunity to address your Rotarians this evening on 2 things that I feel are pertinent, especially at the start of 2022. I want to speak briefly on community policing and its impact division by division, or more locally, how it affects us here on the island of Cat Island, and also the outreach that the commissioner has put in the 2021 policing plan. Even though it's 2022, we're still technically under the 2021 policing plan until the new plan is offered. And so in that plan, the second priority, as a matter of fact, deals specifically with community policing. And I just wanted to read a bit of it so you can understand the emphasis that has been placed on it by the commissioner and the executive leadership team of the organization that I represent. And it says, priority 2, if you're not familiar, you should be able to get a copy from police headquarters. If not, I will allow the information to be sent to Mr. Gilbert, so he maybe can disseminate that information with you Rotarians. You can have it, or just have some of the information at your
Most
disposal
definitely.
whenever you need it. Okay.
Okay.
So priority 2 of the 2021 policing plan, Commissioner's policing plan, says crime prevention and intervention strategy using community policing initiatives to build public trust and confidence. And the subset of that basically says that this is the ability of the force to prevent crime and reduce the fear of crime through community policing initiatives and support. The objectives of this priority: 1, to conduct internal training programs aimed at improving police services and public interactions through community-based policing. 2, to canvass all communities through walkabouts and door-to-door visits to ascertain issues and concerns while eliciting crime tips from members of the public. Disseminate posters, flyers, and brochures on crime prevention and crime safety tips during community walkabouts. Number 4, coordinate efforts between the National Crime Prevention Office and all other policing divisions throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to expand and amplify crime prevention messaging. 5, engage neighborhood crime watch groups and other civilian incorporated initiatives to heighten awareness and sensitize the public on crime safety tips. 6, mobilize officers from the National Crime Prevention Office, Urban Renewal, the National Neighborhood Watch Council to engage in public service announcements during the varying seasons and holidays throughout the year to inform the public of crime safety procedures and crime prevention. And just to stick on that point a bit, I don't know if any of you would have been following social media, especially the Alabama Police Force's page. In the lead up to the Christmas holiday, there were a number of messages that were put out by that office, the National Crime Prevention Office and the Neighborhood Watch Council, in the form of safety tips for the general public. Okay. Number 7, saturate patrols between operational command, mobile, rapid response, divisional patrols, and the National Neighborhood Watch Council to heighten police presence as a deterrence for crime prevention. So in essence, all of this emphasis and this focus that we have placed on community policing is in order to assist in enhancing the visibility of the police, especially during the holiday season. So the persons can, feel a bit more safe when they're doing their shopping or, they're out and about, traversing the islands or whatever activities they're doing with the holiday season. Number 8, conduct field checks and patrols of business establishments, including shopping plazas, during saturated patrols to engage employees and patrons as a crime prevention and intervention measure. Number 9, interpolate divisions in special operations to heighten police presence at precise times and locations as a crime deterrence measure to aid in crime prevention and intervention. Number 10, conduct foot patrols in strategic sectors of all policing divisions throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to engage the public and ascertain information and actionable intelligence to avoid criminal activity. 11, utilize geographic information systems, GIS technology. Yes, we do have it here on the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We can pinpoint criminal activities in a specific area. And based on that crime trend, we can create our own crime mapping of sorts. So for instance, let's look at a populated area in the Providence, for example. You look at Gamble Heights and you look at Sunshine Park. Both of those close proximity, Golden Gate number 2, 3 areas. There may be break-ins in Gamble Heights. They may have come over on the border of Golden Gate number 2 and may have eventually made their way into Sunshine Park. With GIS, we're able to map all of those crime scenes and create an information map that we can use to predict, in some cases, not in every case, but in some cases predict the trends based on the population in certain areas, okay? So number 11 is to utilize geographic information systems, GIS technology, to track and forecast crime trends that identify at-risk neighborhoods and criminal hotspots to aid in the operational decision-making and strategy. Sorry, they missed the word here. Okay, and strategy concatenation process or concatenation process. Sorry, that's my bad. 12, utilize the force's expanded social media and web services reach to promote and disseminate crime prevention literature on personal safety and care. And not just the basic objectives of the priority that is basically community policing, and it is number 2 in the hierarchy of our priorities for policing 2021. And just to go a bit further with that, there are several metrics that we're using. 1 is the key performance indicators, 2, expected outcomes, and 3, the persons or the divisions or sections that would have the responsibility for carrying out all of the objectives, initiatives that have been started or that have been pursued under this policing priority. So we start with key performance indicators, amicable relationships or relations between the police and community members, flow of intelligence data from the public to the police, heightened police presence throughout all communities, decrease in crime and criminal activity, police sensitization on public issues and concerns, and number 6, public trust and confidence in police restored. And that's the performance indicators to let us know that the push that we are making with the community policing initiatives, that it is working, because once we are able to see these 6 indicators, we we will know that what we're doing is effective, or it's not effective because we may not be seeing these things. So then it means then that we would have to reassess, go back out and try a different strategy. The expected outcomes: one, proactive and efficient police services; two, supportive and law-abiding public; three, reliable information from the public; four, fear of crime reduced in communities; and five, safer communities to live in. Now, under the key performance indicators and expected outcomes, there are several sections of the force that have been mandated to take the lead in these initiatives. And they are briefly, the National Crime Prevention Office, or NCPO, the National Neighborhood Watch Council, Urban Renewal Divisions, Public Safety and Operational Support, the Research and Policy Branch, the Police Training College, Central Intelligence Bureau, Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas District, and number 9, the Family Island District. Now you'll notice that there is not a single general police station in New Providence mentioned on that. But if you notice that the Family Islands have been included twice in the Family Island District, which is south of Grand Bahama and Bimini. And then there's the Northern Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco. The reason for that is simply because if you look at the New Providence, it's segmented. The leadership at different station levels would be responsible for police in certain areas. What the NCPO, the Neighborhood Watch Council, and the Urban Renewal Divisions would do would, on a daily basis, more or less, is to supplement those operations at those different divisions. On the Family Islands, we don't have that luxury because we have the mandate to ensure that every aspect of policing is carried out, whether it be criminal investigations, whether it be community policing, whether it be just traffic checks. We have to make sure that we cover all of those areas, okay? And that's basically a gist or a short idea of what it is that we have prioritized as priority number 2 in our 2021 policing plan, and hopefully going forward in 2022, that may carry over. But those plans, they change from time to time, and as the information becomes available, I would be more than happy to download that information and give it to Mr. Gilbert, and he can share it with you, Rotarians, as you go forward. Or if any of you see me, and some of you know me here on the island, you can always stop me and ask me. I'll be more than happy to assist in getting that information to you. Now, the second part of the presentation this evening was about safety tips for children. And we have any number of resource material available online through the National Crime Prevention Office. You can go online, Google search Royal Bahamas Police Force National Crime Prevention Office, and there's a section in there where you can actually download flyers, or you can actually take flyers and save it to maybe your email or the document that you want. And one of those flyers in particular talks about staying home or staying home alone. As you know, with the face-to-face learning not being decided on as yet, the possibility that these kids will be staying home a bit longer for virtual learning exists. So it means then that it would be really, really, really nice if all of our parents would get some safety tips to maybe drill into their kids to teach them how to protect themselves when the parents are or the other adults are out of the home, and some things that they can learn generally that can help them out in their interactions with strangers, especially around the home setting. Okay, so I'll start off. A lot of children stay home alone while their parents are at work or running errands. Sometimes this can be scary, but it does not have to be. Here are some things that you can do to stay safe when you're home alone. Now, this flyer is basically addressed to the child, but I would like to address it to you Rotarians as adults, that maybe you can drill into your children. And I'll be, this should be the first thing I get to Mr. Gilbert. I will try to get this to you tonight, sir. So you can send it by email or however you send it, block messages, whatever you do, to get it to your members so they can have this resource. Okay. The first thing it says is do not let anyone know that you're home alone. If a stranger knocks at your door, do not answer it. If someone calls and asks for your mom and say, is your mom here? Simply say, she can't come to the phone right now, or can I take a message, please? Remember, it is not good to brag about staying home alone. You do not want other children to try to take advantage of your empty home. Okay. Now, obviously, that message is covering two segments: the adults that may be trying to either call the home, visit the home, and then the possibility of your child having kids over. Okay. Number two, lock it up. Learn how to lock and unlock all the doors and windows of your home. That way, no one can get in, but you can get out if an emergency occurs. Number three, know your numbers. Learn your phone numbers, including your address, your mom and dad's work and cell phone numbers, and the phone number of an adult who lives nearby who can help you quickly in an emergency. Four, check in with your parents. Ask your parents for permission before you go anywhere and call to tell them whenever you get home. Your parents should know where you are at all times. Number five, know what an emergency is. Know that an emergency is a time when you need help from a police officer, a firefighter, or a doctor, and ask your parents to post a list of emergency numbers that you may need near your phone. Obviously, in this information age that we live in now, they can have those numbers on speed dial within their mobile device. So it'd be good if you can get a collection of emergency numbers or a trusted adult that you can say, hey, I'm not able to check my child. They're home alone. Or can you go to my home and see if the child is, if he or she is there? You see, because you have to network and partner in this thing in order to keep all of our kids safe. It's still a village. It has not changed. This is still a village. Okay? Practice what to do in emergencies. Get your mom and dad to help you practice knowing who to call for different situations. Talk about different times, you might need help and what you should do. So in other words, it's saying to drill these emergency procedures into your children, what to do in the event of a fire, what to do in the event that somebody is trapped in a car, what to do in the event that you're in the home and somebody's trying to get in. These are different scenarios that you can drill into your children. Choose a safe house. This is another point. With your parents, ask the neighbor if you can go to his or her house if you need help fast. Remember, I just talked about the community, the village concept. You may live in a settlement here on Cat Island that may only have 10 homes. I'm sure out of those 10 homes, there's one home that you may be able to say, I can leave my child with this person, and if there's, or I'll tell them go to this home if there's an emergency, because that may be my cousin up the street or my brother or my sister. But it is good to have these things planned out and already fleshed out, so that in the event that when there is an emergency, the child would be more comfortable knowing what to do in your absence. Okay. And the final point is to be alert. If something just doesn't look right when you get home, chances are it probably isn't. There may be a broken window or an open door. It is stress that you do not go inside. Go to your safe house and ask for help. Remember now, this last one goes back to choose a safe house. It goes back into that same mentality. If there is something out of whack at home, you come home, you made a door open, you made a glass, one of the windows broken, or you just get home and things just don't look normal. It's sometimes best to maybe try to get a contact out to your mom or your dad or some other adult, and in your family, that is. And if you have a safe home, maybe go into the safe home and speaking to the adult at that home and say, hey, this is what I went home and found, and let them contact the police or the emergency services as necessary. The final part of this flyer is, should you be a victim of crime, please do not resist, but take note of the description of the culprit. Example is appearance, clothing, height, physical details, and the direction of or mode of transport or escape. Call the police as soon as possible when it is safe to do so. In other words, that's another point that should have been added into the home safety tips, observation, teaching our kids to be observant of what a person is wearing, how tall a person appears to be. Is this person, hairy in the face, long hair, disheveled? How does this person talk? Does it sound like an accent? Or does this person, speak slowly? Or all of these small little details go together to paint a one huge picture for crime scene investigators in terms of trying to recreate a composite of the person. When it comes to the sketch artist, it is easier once you have a bit more detail to offer. What it does then do is give us the opportunity to quickly put that information out there. This person has been described as so and so, and this is the most likely resemblance of that individual. As a matter of fact, just last week there was a young lady that made a complaint, or not a complaint, but she made it brought to the public's attention an incident that occurred with her in one of our communities in New Providence, where she was sexually assaulted. Based on the information that she was able to give, because it was so precise, they were able to get a suspect in that matter. I think investigations are still ongoing at this time, so I would not want to speak out in advance of saying that it was a successful catch, but based on what she was able to describe, there was a male that was quickly arrested, fitting that description. So it is good to not only you as adults to be observant, but also to drill that into your children, that there are certain key points that they would want to focus on: height, skin color, weight, accent, facial features. Are there any marks? Are there any tattoos? Did you see any scars under the face, on the face, under the eyes, or anything like that? All of these things go towards painting a better composite for the sketch artist to release an image for the public to see, and maybe somebody would be able to recognize the person that was responsible for whatever criminal activity may have occurred. All right. Generally, I want to say to all of you also, this is not a part of the presentation, but it's something for you to generally keep in mind. Crime happens as a result of three things being present. Crime happens as a result of three things being present. One, a suitable target. The suitable target. Two, opportunity. And three, a motivated offender. Suitable target, opportunity, motivated offender. If that fella knows, or that person knows, that this home that he breaks into does not have a flat screen TV, because they cannot see the boxes that we pile up outside every Christmas. Every Black Friday, after every Black Friday sale, we go and put them boxes right by the garbage. We advertising. So the fella going around and he said, okay, they got a 55-inch there. Okay, this got 60, and then we go to this one here. It's like they're in the store shopping. They're going house by house. That's like going through the aisles. But one of the things you must remember, crime happens as a result of there being a suitable target, opportunity, and a motivated offender. Please harden your homes, harden yourselves, harden your families against being victims of crime. And if you can remember, as simple as, you drill it into your head, okay? Target, opportunity, offender, okay? What am I doing in my car? I park inside the mall parking lot and I put all the bags on the interior of the car is tinted, everybody can see what's happening. Chances are you might get your vehicle broken into. But if you practice understanding the crime triangle, what I just gave you was a crime triangle, you can prevent a lot of incidents from happening to you, especially crimes against a person. You're shopping, you want to make sure that you hide all of your items away, that they would not be easily accessible. You just got your new electronic items in at your home, destroy those boxes, put them in the trash. If you can, take them to the trash yourself. Because it is important that we all understand that when crime happens to one person, it happens to all of us. because it is not a singular incident. It happens because of the opportunity, a motivated offender, and a suitable target being present. And that can be any one of us at any time. So just be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of your children, their activities, and be mindful that in every area you traverse, that there may be things or elements in that vicinity that only require you being a suitable target to make crime happen. Thank you.
Oh, wow, thank you. That is a lot of information, lot of information. I
Thank
know
you.
everyone is glad that they're on to receive all this valuable information. Right now, questions. I'll take questions. Mr. Ben will take questions from the floor. Sorry.
There's no
Um,
problem, no problem.
any question at this time, fellow Rotarians? Um, I would like to start off the answering question segment.
Yes, sir.
Um, uh, we know that um, the kids have been doing virtual learning for quite some
Mhm.
time, and
Yeah.
based on this broad wave and new variants and spike rising into numerous cases, education will see it fit that it remains as such and not resume back to the to face to face. But the reality is there are a lot of single parents, single
Yeah.
mothers, single fathers, and they have to work on what's not. Um, I want to know um, within this pandemic, can a parent get into problems by leaving their child at home because they have to go to work? They're single parent, they're the only sole provider. So some jobs you cannot take your kids. And then those kids have to be into the virtual learning unless they'll miss out on education. I think a lot of kids have not been logging on Zoom, have not been getting this information and what's not. I'm not being properly educated because a lot of parents feel as if I think based on the law, hey, I cannot leave my child at home or whatever the case may be. Um, can you bring some type of clarity as it relates to leaving a child home unattended without any parental guidance or what's not?
Yes, there are several pieces of legislation that actually speak exactly to that. If you go to the Child Protection Act of 2007, you will find that in many cases, um, it is recommended that a child be left at home with a suitable adult. Um, because, and you know, the determination sometimes can be a bit subjective. I wish that the legislation could be a bit more precise, concise, and objective. But suitable adult in that case means technically what it means: another adult, 18 or over, person who would have care, custody, and control of those children, even when you're there. Um, because once a person complains to social services that this home is being left monitored by a bunch of 10 and 12-year-olds, it could become a social service issue. It could become a matter, and sometimes you would want to protect yourself and your family by ensuring that at all times where possible. And I like the way you frame that question, because the reality is, in some cases, some parents have to work, and we are understanding that. But the law says that the child or the children should be left with a suitable person, a suitable adult in terms of the caregiver. We run the rest a lot of times with 14 and 15-year-olds. Sometimes, that they can technically be suitable persons to supervise your children, but the fact is they're still children. And if social services were to get involved, you would find yourself having to answer some questions. So it would be best and advisable, where possible, to find a suitable adult who can then supervise your children in your absence. And like I said, I know that's next to impossible in some cases. In some cases, that's why a lot of kids are now still on the family island with their grandparents, because the parents are now still unable to find suitable adults to deal with the children. But where possible, protect yourself and protect your family. And I will, Mr. Gilbert, I'll also shoot you that relevant section of law so you can share with your Rotarians as well.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, you know, one of the things you said that, you know, making yourself a suitable target. You know, I think recently in social media, um, um, a mother, I think it's her daughter was molested, but I think it was done by the boyfriend. So you find yourself in a tricky situation, whereas okay, you might have to go to work, you have to do X, Y, Z. So you want to leave them with adult, but now is that adult a pedophile or is that an adult? Um, you know, someone that is I can safely leave my child with. You know, so I love the commissioner policy, and I love that it's being up there to the top. Um, community policing and on what's not, because within this time, we need to find this mechanism to weed out a lot of social problems. You
Yes.
know, issues that are factual, a lot of time not discussed, but goes on within our community and our society.
Yeah.
Some spoken, not as much vocal, but do all need that attention. Um, any other questions from the floor? I don't want to take up all of the questions and answer segment. Any other Rotarian have any other questions? I guess until they collect their thoughts. I know as it relates to community policing, um, and I think this is something that we all as Rotarians also holds dear to our heart because um, um, our whole service is doing stuff within the community, addressing needs and issues. Um, um, uh, what's in plan as relates to um, the Royal Bahamas Police Force partnering up with like Rotary, like urban renewal, like social service, and other institutions of such doing things within the community. I know you mentioned a bit about walkabouts and what's not, um, but in aspect as in partnering with other relevant agencies to accomplish goals and tasks. Especially let's stick with family island oriented as we are
Mhm.
here in Kid Island.
Well, it's as simple as scheduling a meeting with our officer in charge. It's that simple because it is, like I said, a very high priority mandate and a policing priority by the commissioner to ensure that all of our stations that we have and maintain a strong presence within the community. And that includes partnerships. Urban Renewal obviously is one of our strongest partners. It is one of the, I guess, organizations that we would turn to if there are issues, social issues especially, that need to be addressed in particular settlements or areas. Obviously, we view all of our government colleagues, all of the persons from the different government departments as partners automatically. And so it means then that if you may have an initiative, you as a firefighter may want to get Rotary to get that assistance from the police as an NGO. You can simply just go in firefighter to a police officer, to the superintendent, and say, Mrs. Sweeting, this is what we want to do. And this is what I saw. And Rotary, we would like to partner with the police, and this is what we want you to do in terms of, we want you to, if you can get this area barricaded for us, if you can maybe give us some officers to assist with painting or something, it's just a matter of sitting down and putting pen to paper and making the request. There are only two things that can be said: yes or no.
Yes or no?
That's it.
Awesome, awesome. That is good information. Definitely take it in consideration. And we take
Yes,
up
sir.
on that offer. Definitely
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please do.
we'll take up on that offer.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but it is good. And we are doing a paint project. We already started. We did some homes. Um, and we look at indignant pricing. And I want to share a quick story. Amazing, something happened to me on Sunday that had my mind thinking. I was like, wow, because you think of those persons who are in drastic need and who can't afford and all this different stuff. And then we look at certain persons in the community, in the society, and we automatically, say, well, okay, you know, um, man, Humphrey Brand got it going on, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I woke up Sunday morning, and to my surprise, no water was coming into my house. No water. I went out there, the pump burned up. And I have kids and everything. I have a family. One of my youngest one, I have to go hot water and make milk and all that stuff. So I had to go to hardware. A water pump was $500. $500. I mean, right away. Not just for the pump, the iron fittings and all this different stuff that you have to get to get it up and running. You know, so a blow like that in someone's pocket, or poof, you know, some things hit you off guard, and that made me think. I said, especially in this pandemic, a lot of persons being hit off guard, and then there's so much things that happen in individual life. There's been death. It's not, just one of our Rotarians, secretary, Madam Secretary, she's off the island now, dealing with death, and not just that, but so many things that keep people off guard. And as hiders financially and emotionally and what's not.
Yeah.
And attentions need to be brought across the board. There are some people in our community that need someone just to talk to.
Yeah.
They might be going
Yeah.
stuff and might be overlooked. So I think we need to broaden our scope. And um, don't just put people in various categories and classify them and put everyone in this bubble or whatnot. But
Yeah.
straight across the board, and some you'll be amazed when you sit down and speak with certain people.
Yeah.
Um, Issues and problems that they are faced with. That's why I love when I heard you talk about that walkabout in the community. Police presence speaks a whole lot. That uniform, just that presence. And
Yeah.
then when you start talking now, you gather a whole lot of information, and you see the societal problems that persons are faced with on a day-to-day basis.
Well, that is one of the thrusts behind the urban renewal program. The reason why the community policing initiative, currently as it is currently structured, why it has taken on the face that it has, because it is based primarily on the structure or the modus operandi of urban renewal. It is believed, it is said in practice, that a more well-informed officer or organization, policing organization, is an organization that is on the ground daily, on the ground every hour, is able to reach out and touch and impact the lives of persons directly within these communities, not being standoffish, not being us versus them, but literally being intertwined in that community to the point where when the community starts and the police ends, you would not be able to find that particular joint because it is welded together. And you'll find that myself and one of the officers here, having come from Urban Renewal 2.0, I could share horror stories that we can be until about March or April, talking about some of the things I've seen during my tenure in Urban Renewal.
Yes, yes. Um, but I would like to thank you on behalf of Rotary. We thank you for coming here and sharing knowledge and imparting on us and making us aware, as individuals, some things that we can do to help prevent crime. And I think prevention is always better than cure. So I thank you for all that valuable information and taking time out of your busy schedule and coming and speak to us.
The
We are
pleasure is mine.
we are extremely grateful for you.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Thank you.
at this time, we would like to move to our four-way test, fellow Rotarians. Four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Most of all, will it be fun? And at this time, our final toast, fellow Rotarians, and to our visiting guests, Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
Okay, it has been indeed a pleasure, and I thank all of you for joining on. I even see uh, that is Inspector Emma. Glad to have you. And there's a saying within Rotary, in Rotary, you come back twice, then we're gonna claim you, eh? So we're glad to have you on. We're glad to have you on, and we do hope that it is not your last. We have Zoom meeting every Thursday at 7 p.m. And the last Thursday in the month, we have a face-to-face meeting. So it's indeed a pleasure once again to have each and every one of you. We do have a parking lot, but at this time, I declare this meeting officially adjourned.